What's going on, everybody? This is Jordan from Adelante's Diverse IT, and I'm here to simplify a new solution for you. Today, we're going to look at how to go ahead and avoid some common email and text scams. So let's go ahead and look at some of the tips I can provide you, and we're going to look at a couple examples. Let's go ahead and get started. So I have a couple slides that I kind of presented for today's presentation. The first one is this acronym that I came up with that lets you know one of my favorite tools for trying to find out, is this legitimate? Is this something I should be engaging in, or is this a scam? So this acronym, I say, let's talk about life, and that refers to lies, intimidation, fears, and embarrassment. So lies, of course, are any falsehoods, white lies, or too good to be true scenarios. Intimidation is anyone trying to persuade you to take actions you normally wouldn't take. This is usually commonly associated with a deadline to create a false sense of urgency. Again, they want you to take actions you normally wouldn't want to take. Fear, similar to intimidation, but generally focuses on an imminent threat. Fear can be highly motivating for individuals, so it can make you, again, take actions you normally wouldn't want to take. And embarrassment, this is the type of scam a user normally won't talk with their friends about because they're scared of being embarrassed that they got involved in it. My tip in that regard, though, is if you're scared to tell somebody, you probably shouldn't be really engaging in that interaction. So let's take a look at some examples here. There are generally two common types that we're going to look at that are referred to as phishing. The first one is going to be called deceptive phishing, and the next one is going to be called smishing. But let's take a look at deceptive phishing first. Deceptive phishing is one of the most common types that are out there. It's generally an email from a recognized sender or something that they may want to look like a recognized sender. And then it steals info by imitating a legitimate provider, or again, getting you to take some action you normally wouldn't want to take. Common themes for protecting yourself in this regard is users to inspect URLs carefully. Check for legitimate redirection. What does that mean? That you're actually going to apple.com, not some other website that's not from apple.com. Look for grammar mistakes and also a lot of spelling errors. Let's take a look at a common one. This is a real life scenario that someone had provided to me as an example. I think it's one of my favorite examples because it has the entire life scenario in here. Anytime that you get an email from someone that you don't recognize, you want to start to tell if it is legitimate or not. You're always going to want to go ahead and hit the forward button. The forward button will not forward it to anybody until you put an email address and press send, but it will just put it in what's called a forwarding state. Now, forwarding state is actually going to reveal some information on the screen. If we take a look at this, you'll see that this individual followed my advice in this particular instance and began to forward it. And so if you take a look at it, there's a subject here that says new summary info, re-verified data before it is disabled, and then it gives you some information that tries to make it look like legitimate. Well, if you look at the from area under the begin forward message about 2/3 down through the screen, in this area right here, you'll see that it says the from service is from Apple service, but the email is no reply 1@makeitabusiness66@business.com. Well, actually, that email does not make any sense. And it definitely doesn't look like it reflects something from Apple. So let's look a little bit further. Now, it says, for your protection, your Apple ID is automatically disabled. Support team detect unauthorized person has accessed your account, and now your account access has been locked for security measures. You must update your account and reset your account password info. Well, if spelling, pronunciation, and grammar are not your strong suit, don't beat yourself up. But if you take a closer look at this, you will see that this sentence or this paragraph or whatever you'd like to, the person would like to phrase it as, is riddled with mistakes. There's spelling errors, there's punctuation errors, capitalization errors, but they did still try to make it look personal by addressing it to somebody that makes it look like this email is actually for you. So let's continue looking what this email contained. Well, the email is really trying to get you to hit this verify now button, Because once you click on the Verify Now button, you've now done what's called enabled a permission. And that permission is now what's going to be the virus, the malware, or whatever malicious that you might run on your computer that is now either capturing information, recording information, sending off your contact list, doing anything that you didn't actually want to do. In review, this email made it sound like you had to take some action. That was kind of our threat here, new summary info, re-verify data before it is disabled. It gave us a lot of spelling and asked us to take some action we normally wouldn't want to take, and then try to get us to do that final verify now. Again, there was a lie here because I really didn't need to take any action. They tried to intimidate me because they want me to click on something. They added some fear, but the lie also in here is support team has detected unauthorized person has accessed your account, and now your account has been locked for security measures. Well, in this area, it says re-verify data before it is disabled. So there's a discrepancy. My account can't be disabled and locked, or locked and disabled. If you're telling me I need to disable my account, or I might need to take action before it is disabled, then why down here does it tell me my account is already locked? So that is why I love this example for that life analogy there. We're going to take a look at another common one that's just getting a little bit more popular. This one is called smishing. It's a phishing email via text. So let's take a look at some of the elements of smishing briefly. Your contacts targeted by the text messages mimics known as entities to steal sensitive data or your funds. So this could be login credentials to your email, to your bank, and then research unknown numbers. If in doubt, call entity back on a known number. So let's take a look at what one of these looks like. Now, again, this is an actual text message somebody received, but it says kind of some of these same type of things. It tries to have that there's more than you on this text message. So it sounds like it's a group trying to kind of create a circle of trust that, hey, you want to be part of this group message. And then it also tells you support, abuse, record received against your Facebook page. More info at Facebook at bit.ly with some numbers. Well, that doesn't look like a legitimate Facebook type email address to me in any way, shape, or form. Plus the support and pound abuse just does not really sound like a professional communication from something like Facebook. Myself, I would know this is not legitimate because I don't have any social media like Facebook. So that automatically would set off a warning to me that this is not a legitimate transaction. And then lastly, that common theme that they're wanting you to take action by clicking on something. Once you click on something, it's not like the Matrix where your screen's going to fill up with zeros and ones and turn a fancy green. They're more likely going to start stealing information that they can either use for personal gain or for their own use. So briefly, that's kind of how to go ahead and avoid some common scams. Let's take a look at that at our analogy, or excuse me, let's go ahead and take a look at our acronym one more time. And this is going to be, look out for those lies, intimidation, fear, and embarrassment. If it's not from somebody that you're expecting it, do yourself a little diligence by either trying to forward it. If it's a email, take a look if the email looks like it's somebody that's legitimate. Look for those grammar, spelling errors. Are they trying to intimidate you to take some action that you normally wouldn't? And always, always, always look for what they're trying to get you to click on. They want you to click on something so that permission can be enabled and now your system can be taken over by a malicious hacker. Well, once again, I've tried to simplify another solution for you. My name is Jordan from Analante's Diverse IT. If you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call. We also have a helpline at 505-503-INFO or 505-503-4636. You have a great afternoon, and I'll see you guys again.